Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Thursday's video. Now this video is going to be my monthly progression video. We're going to talk about content that I've been doing, progress that I've been making, and as well just talking about limitations of not extensively spending on this game and where it really gets you as well. So let's jump into it. Let's begin by talking about the monetary side of things. And as we all know, if you've got a load of units, you're able to blast through a lot of content a lot more quickly. Now that's the thing, I don't feel in a place that I want to extensively spend. Now don't get me wrong, I do spend on the game. I will buy the unit deal once a month at £4.99, and I will buy the Summoner's Sigil most months at a price of £9.99. Now regardless of spend, and look, we all know how this kind of rolls, that by spending you're able to kind of get yourself quickly through certain types of content. And I'd love to say that I'd have that kind of go, right, let's spend, you know, £200 on like units. Man, I'd love to do that, but it's just not something I'm going to do. But progression wise, I'm actually made a lot more progress than I've recently made. Now I'm not going back, I'm not going to touch Act 6.2 for a little while until I've built up the roster that I want. And it's pretty much there. But 6.1 is the first thing that I've got to do. And I've actually made more progress than I've made in the last, I'd say, 8 months in there, because I've literally not touched Act 6.1 for a long time since I became Cavalier. So, what am I actually doing with this? Well, the tentative step 6.1.1, at the start of the month I started, and then every time that I've gone into Arena, grinded out units, I've gone in and done more of these paths, or I've done Variant 4, or a few more paths in Variant 1. So that's the thing that I've been trying to do, is get back into some of the content and just blast it out. And as well, like, I blasted through like Heroic Master and Uncollected this month to get the Acorns quickly. So yeah, there's been a lot of kind of things to do. And as well, look, I know people say that Arena is boring, but the fact is, that's fine. Are you going to be that person that spends hundreds of pounds or hundreds of dollars or hundreds of whatever denomination of your country on units to get yourself through that content quicker, or have it in supply for revives? And let's face it, at the end of the day, that is going to be your choice to do that. Now I must say, even though that there's been some kind of like bad stuff with the game, it hasn't like functioned correctly, a few bugs here or there, Kabam have done very well, and that's the thing I would always give them props on. So far, they've got variants 100% like spot on. Like, they're more enjoyable, they're more fun. And if it's a case like the permanent content, like the acts or Act 6, whatever, is boring as hell, which at times I am feeling it is boring. But again, that's just my feeling. I know a lot of people do actually really enjoy Act 6. Maybe not so much 6.2 and 6.3, but there you go. The fact is, like with variants, I just like them. I enjoy them, except for Variant 1. That is a real ball buster, if anything. But the latest ones, like from Variant 2, which still is a little bit like long-winded, but the Variant 3 and Variant 4 spot on. And I do enjoy like blasting through them because they are enjoyable pieces of content. At the moment, you're not going to see any type of 6-star related opening for a long time, and that is because I'm saving up to do some 6-star crystal openings at the UK meetup. And probably the only time I will consider spending is when it's more of a community vibe, and maybe kind of like, you know, we're at the bar, we've got the camera on, M's going to be recording, or someone's going to be recording, we're going to be opening up some rare crystals, and I'm hoping we open up some 6 stars and get some really decent champions. Although I must admit, if we ever hear that 7 stars are on the horizon, maybe it might be a wise idea to hold on to your 6 stars until they guarantee that you can like open them and then get some 7-star shards, if that is going to be a thing. And at the moment, at the point of recording this video, I am sort of sitting on resources. And I'm sitting on resources because I am waiting for a point of going like, right, well, I want these 3 champions, not awakened, but I want them ranked up to rank 5, and these are the reasons why. And currently on my list, I've got Beardo up above me there, and then over the far left-hand corner, we've got Corvus Glaive. Now, I'm pretty certain I want to get the Black Widow Clairvoyant ranked up, but again, it's one of these ones where I'm sort of sitting on the fence about, because you know, you just don't know what your next 5-star opening is going to be. Is it going to be something really good and effective to use? Other than that, I'm still considering doing a rank 2 Ghost, a 6-star, and then doing some content with it. But yeah, there's a few champions I've got on the chopping block to rank up, maybe even Quake up further. So yeah, there's a lot of champions I want to consider, but I want to consider what content I'm doing. And that's one thing I would stress for anybody that's thinking about certain champions to rank up. A lot of the times you kind of go like, oh yeah, Quake all the way, do Quake all the way. But then you kind of come to like situations where you're like, maybe it would be a wise idea to kind of wait until there's certain content that I kind of really want to use that champion for. And a lot of the times you have to get on with that champion and play it well enough for, number one, for the community not to kind of ridicule you for not playing that champion well enough, and as well, the fact is just for your own kind of sanity. If you're finding there's problems with your device and you don't feel that the champion responds well to it, and I must admit, I do believe in that, especially with getting my new iPhone 11 Pro. The fact is, playing certain champions are better with a newer device as opposed to an old device, where the inputs aren't as sketchy as hell and you're not like thinking about throwing it. Hence why the 7 Plus, which is here, visually looks great. The screen resolution is perfect, but getting the 11 Pro, the resolution isn't great. It kind of puts like this kind of like bit, say it's but like a top part and a bottom part to it. Just doesn't look tidy. But I probably will kind of change between how I record things, so I can widescreen it, as you can see here, like top to bottom, looks good. And then when I'm doing like live streams and plays where I have to kind of use a device that's on point, I'm going to use that particular device. By that time I may pick up a few more champions that I want to rank up or kind of like take further. You know, March is going to be a big month as well, so maybe I'll sit on resources and then see like who I get from those 6-star crystals from the UK meetup, and then I'll be able to strengthen the roster, and then it's a case of like other content in the future becomes more doable. Because let's face it, when I do Cavalier crystal openings, I ain't getting 6 stars, and I don't know why that is. I'm not saying I should do, I'm just saying that over the time that I've been spending on them, which I did have to stop, because let's face it, if I ain't getting anything good like a 6-star, at least one 6-star, then what's the point when others have done exactly the same amount as me and have got a lot more? So that again says a lot about the RNG factor, and maybe those units were better spent from doing content as opposed to spending on those stupid Cavalier crystals. But hey ho, I've made my bed, I lie in it, and I've got to move on. So moving on is me trying to get through content and get through it as efficiently as possible as well. I'm actually pretty happy with my progress, which I know that may shock a few people, especially considering the fact there's other Marvel Contest of Champions YouTubers that are doing stuff quicker than me. And one thing that I have to obviously point out is that when I do my videos, I spend a lot of time making them. So look, you know, I could knock out a very kind of cheap or crappy version of Marvel Contest of Champions news in an hour, but it would look dog shit, and I just can't do that. But what I can do is make sure that when I make Marvel Contest of Champions news every Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, I put 5 hours worth of editing and effort into making sure that they are visually appealing for people to click on and watch them, that they're just like, you know, entertaining and as well informative, because I spend a lot of time researching certain stories within the community and getting the most accurate information that I possibly can for you, so that you're well informed. It's going to be like a 10 to 12 minute show, but it will give you all the information that you need to know that's going on in the community. So you're like, right, I'm up to date. Thanks, Rich. I'm up to date with stuff in the community, so therefore I can then go about my day. I can listen to it in the car, on the train, wherever, but be informed within a short space of time of most things that are important in the community. Maybe that you know, maybe that you don't know, maybe what Kabam are and aren't dealing with. But in any case, like, not to kind of like go on and on. I'd love to be able to spend on the game, and as you know, we're saving up for so much stuff this year. We want to go to New York 2020 Comic Con. We want to go to the UK meetup. We've got the wedding to save up for, and so many things. So it's kind of like we've got to really be careful, and I've got to be careful with how much I spend in game. But I could get a sponsor, and I might be able to kind of like do some content as opposed to crystal openings. But we'll see. But like I said, I'm happy with my progress. How are you with your progress? Are you happy with it? Would you like to be doing more? Are you kind of like scaling back what you're doing to then focus on a different game, which, you know, it's going to come soon. We've got Avengers game, we've got Marvel Realm of Champions, we've got Marvel Super War, if that bloody game ever releases, and as well, what's the other game? Oh, that's Iron Man VR, which is delayed till May, so look out for content on the second channel about that. So yeah, that's been the video. There we have it. That has been the video. Thank you very much to everybody that supports the channel. That's on Patreon, Twitch Primes, and as well YouTube membership. It does mean a lot to have that. It really does. And as well, check out some recent content there. Check out the second channel, which is over the far left hand corner, as I'll be live streaming some arena tonight, more than likely, because I need units. Welcome to the daily problems in MCOC. Bye bye for now.